Welcome to the Purple Party, known as Purple Nerd Channel, a home for all those who geek out on all things Prince related. Dream Factory was meant to be the next Prince and the Revolution album, and the concept was that the Revolution would actually play and perform on all the songs. During the recording process, Wendy and Lisa would make the most effort as far as collaborating with Prince, even providing their own songs to him. Where things kind of fell apart was when he was not recording with the group. When he was doing his own solo work, it was going into a much different direction musically than what he was doing with the Revolution, a direction that he was more interested in going into than staying with the sound that they were doing. Changes started to show pretty early on during the Parade tour, as the band The Revolution had expanded to include basically Sheila E.'s entire band, which completely changed the chemistry that the original members had created touring with Prince for so many years. Instead of keeping the original members, Prince went and fired Wendy and Lisa and Bobby Z. Brown Mark had already told Prince that he planned on leaving after the Parade tour, and Prince gave Dr. Fink the option to stay, which he went ahead and took. And with all the core members of the Revolution gone, the Revolution was disbanded and the Dream Factory project was canceled. Today I will be exploring the original configuration of the Dream Factory project from April 22nd, 1986. This is when it was still a Prince and the Revolution album, and it had a lot of contributions from Wendy and Lisa as well as the rest of the band. The second and third configurations of this album feature less of the band and more Prince's solo work, and for the most part became what would be the 3 LP opus known as Crystal Ball that would be trimmed down to the 2 LP Sign of the Times. The album opens up with Visions, a song that was written and performed by Lisa Coleman. It gives us a nice calm opening to the album. We then go into the title track Dream Factory. This original version actually includes its own intro, which has a portion of Lisa's version of A Place in Heaven being played backwards.
Welcome to Holly Rock. You just in time. Got any dreams you ain't using?
This version is also a little bit longer than the official one that was released. It's been a long-standing rumor that a portion of this song is about St. Paul leaving Prince's group, The Family.
This is what it's like in the Dream Factory. Oh.
We then go to Wonderful Day. On this version, Wendy and Lisa are actually singing the lead.
Oh, it's a wonderful day, baby. Tonight.
Next we have the Ballad of Dorothy Parker, which is one of the few songs that did not change from this original configuration. The song does have an unfinished and kind of unpolished sound to it, and that's because when he was getting his equipment hooked up for his home studio in his new house, a couple things weren't hooked up right and the song didn't record correctly like it should. Of course, not wanting to mess with his creative flow, he was told this after the song was already finished, which he said he actually liked the way it sounded and said just go ahead and leave it the way it is. The song title comes from a poet named Dorothy Parker, who had several works published in the 1930s and 1940s. During the tale in this song, which is about Prince talking to a waitress, which is helping him overcome his issues he's having with his lady, he does mention Joni Mitchell's song Help Me.
Dorothy was a waitress on the promenade.
We then go into the song Big Tall Wall. There has been multiple versions of this song released. On this configuration, it's the original one, which musically fits better with this actual album. The other versions were considered for Crystal Ball, Sign of the Times, and even Graffiti Bridge. We then go into the instrumental, and that says what? It's performed with Prince on drums, and Wendy, Lisa, and Bobby Z handling bass, piano, and keyboards, and of course, Eric Leeds and Atlanta Bliss show up to do some horns. Next is Strange Relationship, a song that Prince started working on back in 1983. He would re-record this song in 1985 with Lisa and Wendy. They play the sitar, flute, tambourines, and congas on this song. This version is prior to the Camille effect being added to his vocals, which we get on Sign of the Times.
What's a strange relationship?
Next is Teacher Teacher. Prince had recorded this in 1982 but never put it on any album. He would re-record it in 1985 with Lisa and Wendy. They actually play most of the instruments on the song and also sing co-lead with Prince.
Teacher, teacher, man, I love you.
Then we move on to Starfish and Coffee, a song based on a story from Prince's then fiancée Susanna Melvoin, Wendy's twin sister. It's based on an actual real person named Cynthia Rose that Susanna went to school with. This version is identical to the one that we get on Sign the Times, except on this one we don't have the annoying alarm clock in the beginning of the song. This is such a fun and, dare I say, cute song. I really loved it when he performed it on the Muppets.
Starfish and coffee, maple syrup and jam.
We then get to the song A Place in Heaven, which, as you may know, has several different variations. On the original album configuration, this is Prince on the lead. Of course, there was another version where Lisa was doing the lead, and that's been used on this album backwards on the intro to Dream Factory. In later configurations, that whole backwards song was included, as well as her not backwards regular version of her singing lead as well. There's also another version of Prince singing lead on this, where you have the end of the song Movie Star and the beginning of this song, as in the future it was considered for the album Crystal Ball, and on that configuration Movie Star would actually segue right into A Place in Heaven.
She wants a place in heaven.
We then close the album out with the song Sexual Suicide. This version was recorded in 1985 with Wendy and Lisa in France. You would think with the way that this album started, being a very nice, calm piano, that it would end on a song like A Place in Heaven. But instead, Prince is doing that trick where he goes, "Oh yeah, you think the album's over? No, wait, we got one more jam for you before we go home." Now then, as you very may well know, a lot of these songs have been officially released, but even with giant releases like the Sign of Time Super Deluxe Edition and other deluxe editions that have been coming out from the estate, not all of these versions or variations or cuts have been released yet. Of course, you can go ahead and take all these collections and put them together and go online and find a bunch of these different songs and make your own playlist to listen to this album, but I still would appreciate an actual official release of this project with the original artwork. Thank you for joining me on the channel. Please like and share this video as much as possible, and as always, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you in the next episode where I talk about 2 new songs that were released from the Prince Vault by the Prince Estate during Celebration. And until the next episode, I wish you heaven.